Looking for a quick yet detailed recap of Solo Leveling Season 1? Let's dive straight into it without wasting any time. One day, mysterious portals began appearing in the human world. These portals, later known as gates, led to dungeons filled with monsters that could not be harmed by regular weapons due to their ability to use mana. To fight these creatures, individuals known as hunters emerged. Humans who, after awakening magical abilities, were ranked from E to S based on their strength. Over the next 10 years, gates became a normal part of life. Hunters would enter dungeons to eliminate monsters, not just for the sake of humanity, but also for profit. Inside these dungeons, they collected essence stones, glowing crystals found within the bodies of defeated magic beasts. These stones served as a primary source of income for hunters, with their value determined by rank. Low-tier E-rank stones were worth little, while rare S-rank stones could be sold for millions. Only a small percentage of the global population had the potential to awaken as hunters, and even fewer reached rank C or higher. Unlike traditional training methods, a hunter's rank and stats were fixed upon awakening and could not be improved. Instead, they had to refine their combat skills and battle instincts to survive. The story follows Sung Jin-Woo, an E-rank hunter, considered the weakest of them all. Despite this, he continues working as a hunter out of necessity, as he needs money to cover his mother's hospital bills. She suffers from a condition called eternal slumber, caused by prolonged exposure to mana. One day, Jin-Woo joins a team of hunters to raid a C-rank dungeon. Dungeons, like hunters, are ranked from E to S, and a dungeon's gate only closes once its boss is defeated. If the boss remains alive for 7 days, a dungeon break occurs, allowing monsters to escape into the human world. After defeating what they believe to be the boss, the group discovers another dungeon hidden within their current one. This phenomenon, known as a double dungeon, is extremely rare. However, upon entering, they realize too late that this second dungeon is actually S-rank, and now they are trapped inside. Inside the double dungeon, the statues began attacking the hunters, killing many of them. However, Sung Jin-Woo managed to decipher the meaning of an ancient stone tablet, which caused the attacks to stop. The surviving hunters escaped, but Jin-Woo was left behind, having played a sacrificial role. As he lay on the verge of death, a mysterious system appeared before him, offering him the chance to become a player. Desperate to survive, Jin-Woo accepted the offer, marking the beginning of his transformation. Jin-Woo later regained consciousness in a hospital, where he was immediately questioned by Hunter Guild inspectors. They suspected he might have experienced a rare phenomenon known as a double awakening. Normally, a hunter's rank and abilities remain fixed upon awakening, but in rare cases, some individuals undergo a second awakening, greatly increasing their power. To confirm their suspicions, the inspectors had Jin-Woo retake the evaluation test. However, he failed, remaining an E-rank hunter. After the inspectors left, Jin-Woo discovered that the mysterious system was still active. It assigned him daily quests that had to be completed within a set time limit, or he would face penalties. This was demonstrated when he failed his first task and was transported to a desert, where he had to endure an attack from a massive centipede-like magic beast for several hours. As Jin-Woo diligently completed quests, he earned rewards that increased his strength, agility, and intelligence. He also received valuable items, such as a total recovery potion that fully restored his stamina and healed his injuries. Realizing that he possessed a unique ability to level up, something no other hunter in the world could do, Jin-Woo decided to fully commit to training and growing stronger. Through his efforts, he eventually earned a special key that granted him access to an instant dungeon, a unique location only he could enter. Inside, he fought groups of goblins and soon noticed the results of his training. His speed, strength, and reflexes had improved significantly. As he progressed, he encountered steel-fanged lichen beasts, which further boosted his stats upon their defeat. At this point, Jin-Woo could have left the dungeon using a teleportation stone he had obtained, but he chose to venture deeper. There, he faced the dungeon boss, Blue Venom-fanged Kasaka. After an intense battle, he ultimately overpowered the creature, killing it by crushing its neck with his bare hands, an indication of just how much his strength had grown. As a reward for defeating the boss, Jin-Woo obtained his first weapon, a dagger imbued with paralysis and life-draining abilities. By this point, Jin-Woo had leveled up so much that he was almost unrecognizable. He had transformed from a short, thin, baby-faced weakling into a tall, muscular, and strikingly handsome warrior. At his current level of 18, Jin-Woo continued to grind and grow stronger. But he soon realized that he also needed to improve his financial situation. To earn more money, he started looking for dungeon raids to join. Eventually, he came across a group of hunters led by Hwang Dong-suk, who was looking for 2 more members to clear a C-rank dungeon. Jin-Woo decided to join, along with a wealthy young hunter named Yoo Jin-ho. Once inside the dungeon, the party fought their way to the boss room, where a massive spider monster awaited. At this point, Hwang Dong-suk and his team left Jin-Woo and Jin-ho behind, under the pretense of retrieving excavation tools for mana crystals. However, this was nothing more than a setup. The real plan was to trap them inside and leave them for dead, allowing the team to take all the dungeon's earnings for themselves. Sealing off the entrance, the traitorous hunters waited for their inevitable demise. What they didn't realize was that Jin-Woo was no longer the weak E-rank hunter they thought he was. He immediately sprang into action, wielding his dagger and charging at the boss spider with everything he had. As the battle raged on, Jin-ho watched in awe, convinced that Jin-Woo must be a false ranker, an individual with power far beyond what his official rank suggested. Unleashing his newly acquired skill, Dash, Jin-Woo dodged the boss's attacks with incredible speed. Using his recovery potion, obtained from a previous quest, he maintained his endurance throughout the battle. In a relentless assault, he repeatedly stabbed the spider's head, paralyzing it with his dagger's effect until the monster was completely drained and lifeless. When Hwang Dong-suk and his team returned, expecting to find the 2 hunters dead, they were met with a shocking sight. Jin-Woo and Jin-ho were still standing, and the dungeon boss had been slain. Realizing their plan had failed, the group decided to eliminate them directly. As the fight broke out, one of the traitors sent Jin-Woo flying. But at that moment, the system issued him a chilling command: kill the 5 hunters, or your heart will stop. In a cold and merciless display of power, Jin-Woo took down the entire team single-handedly. His movements were precise, effortless, each strike delivering overwhelming devastation. Finally, as Hwang Dong-suk desperately begged for his life, Jin-Woo ended it in one swift motion, beheading the C-rank team captain with terrifying ease. After leaving the dungeon, Jin-Woo continued his relentless grind, completing daily quests and leveling up in preparation for even more formidable foes. In Episode 7, he made a life-changing discovery: the Elixir of Life, a legendary item capable of curing his mother's illness. Realizing the significance of this, he set out on a journey to gather the necessary ingredients to craft the elixir. His quest led him to a special S-rank dungeon, where he narrowly defeated Cerberus, the gatekeeper of Hell. However, as he ventured deeper into the dungeon, he quickly realized that he was still too weak to complete his mission. Understanding that he needed to grow much stronger before returning, Jin-Woo temporarily withdrew to continue his journey of self-improvement. Later, Jin-ho approached Jin-Woo with an ambitious request. He wanted help in becoming a guildmaster and was willing to pay a staggering 30 billion won in exchange for Jin-Woo's assistance. Seeing this as both an opportunity for financial gain and a way to further level up, Jin-Woo agreed to the deal. In Episode 9, Jin-Woo took on another dungeon raid, but this time he found himself working alongside the very same hunters from the double dungeon incident in the first episode. The atmosphere was thick with guilt and tension. These were the people who had abandoned him to die, and now they were forced to witness just how much he had changed. Among those joining the raid were Kang Tae-shik, a top B-class hunter from the Hunters Association, and several convicts hoping to reduce their sentences. As the mission unfolded, it was revealed that Kang was a murderous sociopath who took pleasure in killing humans. After slaughtering the convicts, he even turned on some of the other hunters. This led to a climactic battle between Jin-Woo and Kang. Even with his assassin build and years of experience, Kang was utterly outmatched. Jin-Woo, now far beyond the weak E-rank hunter they once knew, overwhelmed him completely. The fight reached its brutal conclusion when Jin-Woo unleashed his murderous intent skill, paralyzing Kang with sheer killing intent before delivering the final blow, a dagger straight through his heart. After Kang's death, Jin-Woo's rising power and mysterious abilities drew even more suspicion from the Hunters Association. Fortunately, Song Chi-yul and Lee Ju-hee were able to keep his secret safe, at least for a little while longer. Following this, Jin-Woo and Jin-ho continued their C-rank dungeon farming operation, rapidly clearing multiple dungeons and gaining significant wealth. Their activities eventually caught the attention of An Sang-min, a high-ranking employee of the White Tiger Guild who sought to recruit Jin-Woo. However, Jin-Woo had no intention of joining, and after some clever negotiation, he not only convinced Sang-min to leave him alone, but also scammed him into buying dungeons they had no interest in clearing, at more than double the original price. Later on, Jin-Woo receives a system notification. It's time for his job change. The system assigns him a special dungeon with one crucial condition. The longer he survives against the dungeon's beasts, the greater his chances of obtaining a powerful job. Determined to push his limits, Jin-Woo enters the dungeon, where he faces enemies that serve as reminders of all the battles he has fought up until now. However, nothing could prepare him for what comes next. The dungeon boss and the strongest opponent he's ever encountered, Igris. The anime perfectly showcases the sheer power gap between them. Igris completely obliterates Jin-Woo in every possible way, outclassing him in strength, speed, and skill. When the two engage in hand-to-hand combat, it's an absolute spectacle. After getting absolutely cooked by Igris throughout the fight, Jin-Woo finally manages to land a decisive blow. With flawless precision, he drives his dagger into Igris' throat, concluding the battle in one of the season's most visually stunning moments. The dungeon should have closed after this victory, but instead, something unexpected happens. Countless portals suddenly appear, from which waves of knights and mages begin pouring out. Jin-Woo fights relentlessly, cutting down enemy after enemy, but they just keep coming with seemingly no limit to their numbers. Exhausted and on the brink of death, it seems like Jin-Woo's journey is about to end. At the last moment, the system intervenes, teleporting him to a desert battlefield as part of his uncompleted daily quest. There, he faces giant centipedes, using them as an opportunity to level up, restore stamina, and keep fighting. After returning to the dungeon, he completely annihilates the remaining knights and mages, securing his job change. But instead of a typical class, Jin-Woo is granted something even greater, the Necromancer class. And that's not all. Due to his outstanding performance, he receives bonus points, upgrading his job even further to something truly legendary, the Shadow Monarch. This new power allows him to resurrect the fallen and command them as his personal army of shadows. At the very end of the episode, he unleashes his newfound ability, turning toward the fallen Igris and uttering the long-awaited command, "Arise." With this, Igris becomes Jin-Woo's first major shadow soldier, officially marking the birth of the Shadow Monarch. And that's where Season 1 wraps up, leaving us hyped for what's next. If this video was helpful to you, please leave a like and subscribe for more recaps. See you next time.